Yeah, okay, great. So, good morning, everyone, and welcome to this very interesting and exciting talk today. We are actually going a little bit off books today, and we are going to discuss something very interesting. We are going to discuss about the top 15 useful apps and websites for practicing doctors in 2024. Now, this presentation is unlike what you have seen anything earlier, right? It's completely different. It's a new little experiment that I'm trying. And this is a live interactive presentation. So how is it live and interactive? It is live and interactive because of two reasons. One, you can see this QR code over here. You can scan this QR code and the entire presentation will open up for you. So what you can do is you can actually follow the presentation as I talk along. So that is something which you can keep scrolling ahead. You can go back. Maybe you missed a point from something I said. You can go back and have a look at the slide again. So this is a live presentation. So this is something which is made. It is not made on a PowerPoint. It's made on an HTML. It is made using AI. So it's a new way of presenting. So my suggestion is that you use this QR code, follow the link, and follow my presentation. And what I'm going to show is I'm going to show you 15 apps. Some of these apps are using AI. Some of these apps are actual native mobile apps. Some of these apps are web-based applications or websites. So it's a mixture of things. So that's the broad idea of the presentation. Now on each of the, there is a YouTube link as well. So you can actually click on that link and see how this app actually works, the video of the app as well. So that's the whole idea. So it's a very different presentation. And do give me feedback later on how this presentation really shapes up. The second way we are going to be interactive is that we are going to have some poll questions at various points of time. And whenever these poll questions open up, you can use the poll link to answer that. Try to be a little interactive so that I can also get a sense and pulse of what's going on. Okay, so this is the outline of today's presentation. So we are going to talk to you about rules that we are going to make this for making this list. We'll first talk about top 10 useful apps for practicing doctors in 2024. So these are apps which are available in the market. But then I'll also show you 5 apps that we are developing for doctors, right? So there are 5 things which are developing mainly using AI. And then we'll go to just the summary and the conclusion and the other things. Okay. So let's start with the poll question. And the tech team, if you are ready with the poll. Yeah. So if you can run the poll question is, which category of medical apps do you find most useful in your clinical practice? Do you use clinical decision support tools like UpToDate? Do you use medical education and learning apps? Do you use apps that help in research and literature review? Do you use apps which help in diagnosis? Or do you use patient management and communication apps? Which of these apps are something that is very useful to you in your practice? So please, share your poll results. Okay, so you can see on the screen, I'm looking at these poll results, and though the results are changing as I speak, well, a lot of you are biased towards medical education and learning apps, and a lot of you are also talking about research tools and patient management and communication apps. So these are the ones which are most popular in amongst the doctors who are following this. Okay. So the rules for today's list is, so this is a topic which was given to me by Kedar and from the sponsors Alembic as well, because this was a topic which came as a request from a lot of doctors from the previous presentation, that just tell us some apps and tools that are very useful to us. So I thought a lot about it, and what I really learned is that let's not have apps which everybody uses. Right, a lot of you are already aware about UpToDate, MD Calc, which is a calculator app, Medscape, ChatGPT. You all know this. These are all apps which are known to you, and I don't want to kind of give you the same apps again. Right? There's no point of telling you about the apps which you're all aware about. So I'm going to dig up some other interesting apps which you are probably not aware about. So the idea is to give you apps which are a little different from what you're used to. All of the apps are not necessarily apps themselves. Some of them are websites. So, but most of them will be accessible to you with your mobile phone also. In fact, this presentation also, you can probably see it on your mobile screen as well. So, like I said, you could consider following this presentation using the QR code which we had given earlier. So you can see, and in the end also, maybe if you can share the QR code again. I'll show it again. So you can go back and review this presentation again. Uh, some apps use AI and some don't. Now, when we do use AI, this there'll be a little uh, AI symbol which will be there. Some apps are free, some are paid. So whatever it is free or paid, it is going to be mentioned accordingly. So these are the broad rules what we are going to follow in the next few minutes. So let's start with first 10 apps that are available to you. These are commercial apps, or these are available in commercial use and available on most of the websites. So these are not something under development. These are already there, production ready apps that are around. So let's start with one, and I'm going to start with the most shocking and the mind-blowing app, the most mind-blowing app I could find. So let's start with the best, right? Let's start with the best possible app, which I feel is going to be a game changer. So this app is called Storm. It is made by Stanford. It is a web-based application, so it's a web-based system. It's not an mobile app. The elevator pitch for the app is it's an AI-powered tool for writing complete research articles from scratch. That's the whole idea. You can, when you follow this presentation, you will be also getting the link to the app. So you can, check the app themselves, and you can then there is a YouTube video link as well. You can check out the YouTube video also. It is completely free. It's completely free for research preview, right? And I'm going to show you what this app does because this is going to completely blow your mind. Okay, so this is the video for the app. Now this app is Storm, right? You can see the link above, stormproject.stanford.edu. That's the link to the app, and you can again follow the link using the QR code which we had given. Okay, so this is Storm. Okay, so let's get ready to have our mind blown. Okay, so what this does is very simple. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to go here. There is a place to put your prompt. Okay, you just have to write the prompt. Okay, and downstairs you can see in future they're going to make a human AI collaboration model also. But this is what you do. So I wrote a little prompt here. You just have to write one line of prompt. I want an article for use about the use of dapagliflozin in NAFLD or NASH. This is the topic, right? Let's see what it goes. So and then it says that give me a little bit of more context also. So here I said give me a review article on the use of dapagliflozin in NAFLD and NASH. The intended audience are endocrinologists. So this is the intended audience. Okay, so I did click here and said okay, yeah. So and click on start. Okay. So when you click on start, it will start doing its own research. Okay. So this is a little research it is doing. It'll take about 3 minutes to do its research. It'll start identifying the various perspectives on the topic and start browsing the internet to look for the articles. And then it will start looking at these articles. Okay, in more detail. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Keep going ahead. You can in fact see the brainstorming process also, how it is thinking on the lines, and there you go. So within a few minutes, it will give you the entire. It will make you like a review article. You can see the entire review article here. Here it says you can actually download the review article also as a PDF. Okay, so you can download this as a PDF and then you can read it. Okay, and the entire article you can see it goes to dapagliflozin, mechanism of action, pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics, clinical use cases, safety and efficacy, administration and dosage, potential side effects, dapagliflozin in liver disease, efficacy in FLD and NASH, mechanism of action, clinical evidence, and so on and so forth, right? You can keep going ahead. And then it looks at comparative effectiveness, then, the specific topic which we have talked about and so on. You can get the entire thing along with all the references. Okay, so you can see the in-text citation also, entire references are also there, right? This takes research to the next level. I think the era of writing narrative reviews are probably going away. With this just one prompt, you are able to write a complete narrative review on the topic, right? Which is, I think, completely mind-blowing. So I think, taken with, through the Storm. The next app, which is also very similar, very useful for doctors for research. You would all have heard about ChatGPT and you all heard about, Claude and all that. But the app which I feel is very useful for doctors for AI-based research is called Perplexity. Now, Perplexity is an AI-powered search engine. So it is like ChatGPT and Google. If they had a child, that child would be Perplexity. Okay, so it's an AI-based search engine. It is fast becoming a replacement for Google. Who would have thought that one day Google is going to be replaced? But it is, fast becoming a replacement for Google. So the elevator pitch is it's an AI-powered search engine for instant accurate results for medical queries. It's available in all the platforms. It's available as a website. It's an iOS app and Android app also. It is a free app. So you can use a lot of, it's a freemium app, so a lot of features are free of cost, but there is a pro plan as well, so where you can pay $20 a month. It's almost the same cost as a chat GPT subscription. So that's the Perplexity app. I'll show you the how it works. Okay, so this is the Perplexity. So Perplexity is, it's just like a, like chat GPT only, but it uses internet, okay, for searching. So let's say I'm writing a review article on drug-induced adrenal insufficiency. Give me a list of high quality. So you have to write a good prompt, okay? High quality review articles on the topic. Okay. So this is what my prompt is. Let's go back in a little. Yeah. So give me high quality review articles on the topic. So this is what I said. So then it does the search. Okay. So you can see it is doing the search. Again, it is doing the thinking. Okay. And in fact, any kind of, it's not necessarily for medicine. You can in fact do the search for anything. So here, what I wanted was review articles on the topic. So here it is then quickly drawing up useful review articles and also giving you a summary. Okay. So the changing drug, this, and then maybe, one of the review articles I find very useful. So let's say I click, it will also give you the reference for that, right? So you can directly click on the link and then open that link and see the article. Okay. So for example, this is the article which I want. So I click on the link. When I click on the link, I am able to open the PubMed link for the article. Yeah, there you go. So this is the article which opened, right? And then next, what I can do is I can in fact take this article and ask Perplexity to give me a summary of the article also, right? So again, for research work, this is something which will help. So about 20-30% of you said that you use medical applications for research. If you are doing research, forget PubMed, forget Google Scholar, forget other things. All you need to do is to use Perplexity, and with Perplexity, that completely solves your research problem. Then another app which I found, I think this is an app which I didn't know much about, but a lot of students used to tell me about this app, and this is something which I then ultimately tested and found it to be very useful. It's a very useful app for medical students. So again, for clinicians, I think it may not be that important, but if you're a resident doctor, or if you're preparing for some exam, this is a very useful app. The app's name is Picmonic. So Picmonic is basically, when we were all medical students, we used to have all these mnemonics where, different ways of remembering things and learning things. So this is something like that. This is a visual learning platform for medical education using mnemonic picture cards. So that's the app, right? It's basically, it has a free version also. So there are again, a freemium app, but it has a subscription-based system as well. So subscription is about $10 a month. It is very useful, again, for a lot of you who are teachers, who are teaching medical students also. It's a very useful app, right? So app's name is Picmonic. It's not an AI-based app. It's a simple app. Now, one of the other things about the app is that app is also very useful for, there is a way of learning things. And one of the way of learning things is by spaced repetition. This is something called spaced repetition. You'd have heard about, about Anki. Now, Anki is a very popular platform for spaced repetition. See, the best way of remembering something over a long time is to keep repeating that concept again and again, right? For example, let's say, you want to learn about glucocorticoid induced adrenal insufficiency. Then let's say there is some point, for example, when do you need to taper off? When do you need to taper glucocorticoids? So the answer is 3 weeks, right? So if you've been given steroids for more than 3 weeks, then you need to taper the steroids. So this is a clinical point. Now you can write this clinical point, and after a few days you can repeat this. After 2 days you can repeat. After 24 hours you can repeat. If you keep repeating this point again and again, it goes into your memory. This is called spaced repetition. So one very popular app for spaced repetition is called Anki. But this is like Anki only. But this is a more advanced version of Anki. So here you can actually have ready-made cue cards which you can use, right? So I'll show you again the video for the app. Right. So it has lot of character. So it has, it has a lot of cartoon-based characters also. So all these things makes it very easy for remembering. So you can have very beautiful, mnemonics and all that. And this especially helps medical students and teachers for teaching. So this is called Picmonic app. So it's a very useful app for this purpose. So again, if you are somebody who, or maybe has a child who is a medical student, this is an app which is very useful. We can try it out. You have, again, the app version for both iOS and Google Play Store as well. Okay, another AI-based app which has been around for some time. It's called Dr. Gupta AI. It is, well, I don't think it is going to stay for too long because, I'm going to show you something like that which we have made ourselves. It's a very simple concept. It's an AI powered virtual healthcare assistant for medical information and advice. It's pretty good. So the reason why I'm showing you this, because as a concept, it's a very good. It's completely free also, so you can check this out also. Again, if you are stuck with a medical diagnosis and if you want the help of an AI assistant, Dr. Gupta is the AI assistant. Name itself is Dr. Gupta, so it's not made by Dr. Gupta. The name of the app itself is Dr. Gupta. So I'll show you the how this app really works. So it's like a chatbot. It's like a chat GPT for medical care. So let's say you can ask questions as a patient also. You can ask questions as a doctor also, right? So this is something like you'd have heard about Glass Health. Glass Health is a more advanced system for doctors, but this is something where even patients can also ask questions. So maybe sometimes you can give it to your patient also if your patient is constantly asking for some questions, and also you can do that, right? So let's say I ask this question, and it's actually true. Okay, so like I said, I'm suffering from headaches on daily basis. I'm a 40-year-old male. The headaches are triggered by sleep deprivation. What do you think am I having, right? So these are the things. So it will start searching for the questions, and you can see on the right side is searching for articles on the topic. So basically, instead of sometimes just giving you the answer, it also gives you the relevant article from PubMed also, right? So it looks for this article and then it gives you the article, and then you can read on this article also. So you can actually look at all these references so that you can check whether whatever information the Dr. Gupta is giving is correct, right? So, is this migraine or chronic daily headache, right? So again, it will try and answer the question also. So you can see, here, right? So understand why you're seeking clarity on whether headaches are classified as migraine. What you describe, it seems that headaches could be combination of both, as migraines sometimes occur frequently, lead to chronic daily headaches in some individuals, right? So these are things you can in fact put lab results also on the right side. There is link to put lab results. You can put your vital parameters, all the things, and it will be able to give you more nuanced answer to all this. So it's a very simple, basic concept. But it should help your you and your patients to make better diagnosis. Again, it is not something which is outstanding and mind blowing, but as a concept, because in future you are going to see a lot of apps like this. This app is probably going to die, but you will see apps like this in the future, and some things like this we already made ourselves. So it's something which can be very and in future doctors are always going to take help of AI to make the diagnosis. So it's going to be around for some time. Okay. Another app which is pretty good. Again, it's been around for some time. It's called Figure One. Figure One is a medical case sharing platform for healthcare professionals to discuss and learn. It is like Instagram of medicine, right? So it's that's the elevator pitch. It's an Instagram for medicine. It is available again for iOS, Android, and web. Now there are many apps like this for Indians also. There are many, but this is Figure One is international. It's available throughout the world. It's very nice. In fact, very nice. The visual interface is very good. Again, it's completely free for healthcare professionals, so you'll have to sign up with uh, you know uh, putting your medical credentials, but it's again a very useful app. So I'll show you the demonstration of the app here, right? So you log into the app, right? And when you log in, it's just like you can post cases. It's like Instagram only, right? So you can post cases and you can look at other cases which people have posted. Again, the focus is more on imaging, more of visual cues, right? So here, this somebody has posted a case, here about incidentally discovered adrenal mass lesion. Okay, and then you can ask people to discuss and other things also. You can ask questions, those kind of things, right? So again, it's not an AI based app. So it's basically just a routine app, but it's like Instagram for doctors, and you can share images, share pictures, share videos, right? All these things on. So it's like a social media platform for doctors. So this is basically Figure One. It's a very popular app across the world, and you can then interact with a lot of doctors from across the world as well on this platform. Okay, so time for a poll question again. So when you're using medical apps and technologies, what is your biggest concern about adopting these new medical apps and technologies? Is it data privacy and security? Is it that you have to learn new things and invest time on that? Is it cost of subscription, which is a problem? Is it reliability of information? Is that a problem? Or what is there integration with existing system? Which is the biggest concern? Which is the biggest challenge for you to use this app? So again, if you have the tech team, if you can run this poll, yeah, I think okay, probably we have the wrong poll question. Can we check? Okay, no problem. I think we can come back to this as well. So this is something which is going to come forward. Okay, so we'll come back to this. Okay, so let's go ahead. And another app which again, if you are somebody who reads medical articles very commonly, of course, Medscape is very popular. A lot of people already use Medscape for the same purpose. But one app which I'll encourage, which is a replacement for Medscape and probably better than Medscape, is called Read by QxMD. So Read is basically a personalized medical journal feed, and research paper discovery tool. So you can, whenever you sign up, you can say that you want papers on endocrinology, on cardiology, on diabetology, and then it will send you relevant articles at a constant basis. It's available as iOS, Android, and web. Again, it's a freemium app, so it has free features also, but there is some subscription models as well. So again, I'll show you the example of this app. So here, when you sign up, you say you specify what topics you want your articles to be, okay, and then when you go on that, and then show you a personalized feed for you, okay. So here you go, right? So you can set up institutional access, and then it makes a personalized feed. So it will show you some relevant articles for the topic, right? And you can then read this article. Some of the articles will be available as full text also. So you can, wherever it's available as a full text, it will tell you that this app is available, this article is available as a full text. And then you can again, you can have a conversation also. You can you know post your comments also about the article and other things, right? So for example, 2024 guidelines on heart failure, right? So this is a topic, and then you can read the article, right? So that's the, yeah. So you can read the whole article you can read the PDF of the article within the app itself. So you don't have to go out of the app, and you can read the article here, right? Okay, so this is a poll question which will come again. So we'll come back to this again. How often do you use AI powered tools in your medical practice? Some people have said daily, some said weekly, some said rarely. So mainly, some people do use it. So I think 60% do use some sort of medical AI powered apps as well. We'll come back to this poll question. Another app which is useful, I think, for doctors is called Prognosis. Again, this app has been around for some time, but a lot of people are not aware about this app. Again, you have similar versions of apps available elsewhere, but the most dominant one is Prognosis. So Prognosis it's an interactive medical case simulation for clinical decision making in medicine. So it's like a simulation, right? So they'll give you interactive cases, and then you have to solve these cases, and then solve the cases and get the result, and there's some learning point also. So it's a freemium app. Again, basic cases are free, but there are some premium paid subscription also within the app as well, right? So again, this is available both as on all the things. So for example, when you open this app, it looks like this. So these are some cases. For example, you have a case called sudden dyspnea, right? So here you go to this case and you read the clinical notes of the case, and then you can, it'll at every point it will ask you some MCQs, right? What investigation would you do further, right? So for example, this was a patient with who presented with breathlessness. So I'll just go through the case. So 66-year-old female comes with dyspnea to the emergency department. There are fever, cough. She's not on any medications and so on. Then these are the clinical signs, right? Not pale, pulse rate is 100. Blood pressure is like this. JVP is not elevated, so on. And then you can say what investigations would you order further. So which investigations would you order, and so on, right? So then you can click on that, and it will tell you whether you give the correct answer, wrong answer, and so on, right? Okay. So these are the tests that I order, and then it will tell you, okay. So ECGs are only positive for where you are right, where you are wrong, and then what treatment further would you give, right? So again, you can this is like a step-by-step process to solving a medical case. So it really is helpful, and I think you learn a lot of things as a practicing doctor. It enhances your skills as well as a doctor. So this is something which makes it a very useful app in your practice. So you can again free. A lot of it is free, right? So all these cases are free. I have in fact not paid for some of these apps also. Most of these apps I have not paid for. Wherever I have paid for an app, I'll tell you, this app is worth paying for 100%. So the free version of it also very good. So you can try the free version, and then if you find that it's something which is useful, then you can get a paid version also. Okay. A very more premium app is a app called VisualDx. This is actually an AI based app. Now this app is actually paid. It's not free, unfortunately. It's a paid app. It's a diagnostic clinical support system with extensive medical image library. Again, it's an image based system. It is a lot of focus is on dermatological images also. So it's a lot of focus actually lies on dermat. Again, this is a very it's a kind of a rich app. It's like UpToDate. In fact, it is supported by water coolers also. So it's a big app actually, and it's very good. Okay, but I think again at this point of time, should you pay for this? No, because some of the other AI apps in future are going to take away. But again, the idea is as more of a proof of concept. Again, it's something which will help you in diagnosis. This is the image of a patient which I had, right? So again, you have to upload the image. When you upload the image, it will ask some questions. Is it a bulla? Is it, those kind of basic things. And then it will start building, what is the skin type of the patient? where are the lesions located, okay. So you can go step by step patient, then you give medical history, patient has type 2 diabetes, patient has this, and then it'll give you the potential differential diagnosis. So these are the potential differential diagnosis for your skin lesion, right? So it's a combination of AI with your clinical skill, and then you can read about each of these differential diagnoses, and then you can probably see where your diagnosis really fits. So it is something which helps non-dermatologists make dermatological diagnosis. That's the whole idea. So by uploading the picture, and then it will start visually analyzing the picture, and it will start giving you step-by-step process of making the diagnosis. There are other ways also. I mean, you can use for other things. You can use it for general symptoms, for ophthalmology, ENT, oral medicine also. But a lot of it is basically, majority is focused on dermatology. It's more of a dermatology because naturally, visual cues are mainly with dermat. But then there are other things also. So you can. It's a very comprehensive thing. It's a little expensive app. So again, something, if it costs about $20-30 a month. So what I'd say is generally try it out. If you find it useful, pay for it. But otherwise, these things are going to be replaced by AI in future. So you probably don't need to pay much for it also. It's going to be something which, is going to be away. Okay. Another AI-based tool, which is like a clinical assistant, is called Pathway. Again, this is free. A lot of it is free, but then there is subscription also. But you can try it out. For trying out, it's free. Again, it's an evidence-based clinical decision support with guideline summaries. So it's a clinical decision support tool which uses AI. Again, I'm saying, if you find it useful, pay for it. But again, this is something which AI tools are going to replace in future. So this is, again, more of a legacy tool, but it uses AI. Okay, so here it's pretty good. Again, the UI and everything is good. So this is called Pathway AI. Okay, again, this is not many people know about this app. It's a very different app. So so here I said, I asked a question: what Ki67 index is associated with higher aggressive pituitary adenomas? Okay, so this was my question. Again, something just I thought about, and I looked at. So it is then searching for the answer, and then giving you. Then it's also giving you the references also. So here it says. The study in a study of non-functioning pituitary adenomas, rapidly growing adenomas were found to have Ki index labeling more than 1.5. Okay, so yeah, there you go. Right? So it kind of and then you can look at the guidelines also and on the topic, and you can look at the other things also. So this is like a AI-based clinical decision support tool. Okay, then one app which is my favorite, and this one I pay for, is Rome Research. Okay, so this is not a medical app. It's a basically note-taking app, which is mind blowing. Okay, I've been using this for a long time. Most of my research that I do, I use using Rome Research. Okay, so Rome Research it's a very simple concept. It uses a concept called bidirectional linking. Again, it's $15 a month. Not very expensive, but something, I think it's worth $15. But for you, you can see whether it's useful. Again, a lot of other apps in future are going to have. In fact, Apple Notes itself is now having bidirectional linking within it. So maybe in future, probably you will not require to pay for it. But right now, you do. So here is my Rome Research thing, right? So this is look at this, and here, for example, I was doing this list of top 10 apps, right? So this is, again, I made a list of all the apps which I wanted to include here, and then there is something called bidirectional linking. I'll show you an example of that. For example, this is my notes on MFLD. So whenever I find any information on MFLD, I open this page and put that information there. So all the information is there within that particular thing, right? So you look at MFLD, and then you can link it with another notes, right? Let's say NASH and FLD. So there is another terminology I'm using. So again, on the side, I can open the notes to this also. So all my notes are saved in this Rome Research. I can export this notes as a markdown file, and then you can include it in my research paper or whatever where I'm using. So whenever I'm doing research, whenever I'm reading anything, whenever I find something relevant to any topic, I open that topic and I save that notes over there. So so whenever, let's say, I have to give a presentation on MFLD, or I have to give a presentation on some topic, then I can easily find that all the notes on that topic, and then continue from there by adding more details here, right? So that's the whole idea. So this is Rome Research, very popular, has been around for a long time, and I think this is one I think you should probably pay for it if you're somebody who does a lot of research, or if you do a lot of presentations and other things. This is an app which I think it should be very, very useful in your day-to-day life. Okay, so this is about Rome Research, and okay, So if you can run this poll question, yeah, I think this is the yeah, the tech team. Can we have the poll? Okay, so which feature do you find most valuable in a medical app? Quick access to evidence-based guidelines, is that something which you'll find most valuable? AI-powered diagnostic suggestion, is this something useful? Interactive case simulations you find useful? Do you find personalized medical literature feeds useful, or do you find collaboration tools for peer consultation useful? So if you're looking at an ideal medical app, what do you find as most useful? Okay, so you can see your answers. Right. So a lot of people are looking at quick access to evidence-based guidelines, which is very good. I think this is something which even I look at, because this is, see, in day-to-day practice, I think most of us are good at making diagnosis. So diagnosis is not a problem, but what you want is what is the current guideline? What is the current guideline on this? What is the current guideline on that? That is something which we find as, very useful, right? Okay. So yeah, so quick access to evidence-based guidelines. Yeah. And yes. Yeah, thank you. So this is the what do you find most useful? And again, quick access to evidence-based guidelines is something which a lot of you really want. So that's something which I also feel that it's something is really useful. And this is where you can use something like a pathway, or you can use Perplexity itself for making the searches also. So I think for this particular purpose, I would probably look at this. And for the AI-powered diagnostic, this is where you use VisualDx, or you can, I'll show you some other tools which we have developed, which we are developing as well for this purpose. Okay. So then let's look at some apps that we are developing. Now, some of these apps, it's still under production. These are just ideas. Okay. These are all free. So you can try it out. I've given the links for you to check out as well. So you can try this out and again, tell me the feedback of, when you try it out. So these are few things which we are developing for doctors, and tell me how useful it is, right? So we have developed something called Pyraxio. Again, the links are there. Wherever the password is required, you will have to enter this password. I'll just write that down. So it's technochronology at the gmail.com. Okay. So, and I'll show you the examples of these apps as well. So that's the password. Basically, technochronology at gmail.com. So if it prompts you for the password, this is the password you need to enter. Okay. So Pyraxio is, so what I found is that a lot of doctors actually want to use AI, but don't want to pay for the AI subscription. Okay. This is a challenge. Secondly, a lot of people, if they pay for one subscription, but they not pay for something else. And in the world of AI, what is happening is that things are changing very fast. So one day Chat GPT 4.0 is the best available, application. After a few days, Claude Sonnet becomes the best available application. So again, I can't now then change, cancel the subscription of Chat GPT and then get a subscription of Claude. In fact, I can do it, but the point is, how frequently are you going to make those changes? So what I have done is that we've made a little app which you can then, as a doctor, use it, try it out. We are giving it free of charge. Just try it out. It does all the things with Chat GPT or Sonnet and everything does it. But at the back end, you can actually have the freedom of choosing the large language model which you want to use. For example, if you want to use Chat GPT, you can use Chat GPT or GPT 4.0. If you want to use Claude Sonnet, you can use Claude Sonnet. If you want to use some of the Meta AI tools like Llama and all that, you're free to use it, right? So I'll show you some examples of that. Again, if you're prompted, this is the link. Again, if you're following the presentation, I'll once again go and show you the QR code in case you have missed it out, right? So this is the QR code. So you can go use this QR code and follow the presentation as I go along, right? So follow the presentation. All the links are there in the presentation itself, right? So they're embedded in the presentation itself. So you can directly click on the link and try this all these apps out, right? Okay. So coming back to where we left, right? So this is the app is called Pyraxio. I'll just show you the video of the app, to show you how it works. So this is how the first screen. Before this, when you go there, it will ask you for the password. So the password I already told you is technochronology at gmail.com. Just enter that as a password. So here you have option of choosing all this. So you have a text-based chat, you have computer vision analysis, You can do upload a document and ask questions, generate image, search for AI based answers. So this is the, a lot of people, you said that, you want clinical decision support. This is where you go, and you can work with YouTube videos. So these are some things you're adding. For example, let's start with the text-based chat. Okay. So here I'm saying, you start with this. So I'm an endocrinologist. I'm making a patient leaflet for do's and don'ts while taking oral semaglutide tablet, and please make a video with clear set of instructions for the use of this, right? So this is what I gave as a prompt. And here you can see on the bottom right, you can see Claude Sonnet 3.5. Okay. So there's a Claude Sonnet 3.5. You can actually change this also. You can change this to GPT-4o or any other model. The best model is Claude Sonnet 3.5. So I'm showing you this with the best available model. Okay. So you go there and you click on it, and here it will start making the AI based leaflet also. So here it said, okay, so dear patient, your doctor has prescribed you oral semaglutide. Do's and don'ts: take Rybelsus exactly as prescribed. Start with a prescribed dose of 3 milligram for 30 days, then will increase to 70 milligram, so on and so on. Do not crush the tablet. Take it 30 minutes before the meal, and so on, right? So you can all see all these points over here, right, in terms of the medicine, right? So this is one example. Then there are other options also. So you can do a AI-based image analysis also. So maybe you have a picture of some retinopathy, or then you can upload a document and ask questions. So you have a research paper, you can upload that research paper and then ask it to summarize the research paper or ask questions and other things also. So this is basically Pyrex here. Then we have made an app for carb counting. So the idea here, again, it's not to show मैंने app बनाया, मैंने ये किया. The idea is basically that how you can creatively use AI in your practice, right? How these are the potential things you can do. So I'm not saying that you make an app, but at least idea is that you see what are the potential of AI in practice. Again, it's an AI-based system we have made called carb counting AI. Now, one of the problem, since I come across type 1 diabetes patients commonly, one of the problems that you face is type 1 patients don't know how to do carb counting and don't know how to calculate insulin dose. So we have made this carb counting AI app. Okay, so it does a step-by-step process of helping patients do a carb counting. So here you start with the patient has to enter the total dose of insulin and current glucose value. Then you go there and upload the image of the food that you're going to eat, right? So this is, for example, this is a, Gujarat people will know it's called a handwo, right? So you upload this handwo, okay, and then it will identify the food. So first step is to identify the food item. So it will identify the food item, okay, what food is there. So it is saying here it's basically handwo, 2 pieces, and there are some almonds here, okay. Then you can make some changes here, okay. So for example, let's say sometimes what happens with AI is that it is able to estimate the food item properly, but the quantity it is not able to estimate properly. So there are some challenges with quantities. Here say 2 pieces. For example, if you are going to eat 3 rotis, you can make it 3 rotis or 3 pieces or 4 pieces or whatever. And here you can see almonds, it's at 4 pieces, but there are only 3 pieces there. So you can make that change, right? So you make a little bit of editing over here in terms of, the thing. And then you can do calculate carbs and insulin dose. So you look at the carbs and then it will look at there is a database at the back end. So if it finds it in the database, it says it's available in the database. If it doesn't find, it will calculate itself. And then it will do the insulin dose calculation. So here it does the insulin dose calculation, insulin to carb ratio, insulin sensitivity. It will do all the calculations. It will give the correction bolus, pre-meal bolus, and it will give you the total dose of insulin, right? So how much insulin the patient has to take, it will calculate and give that result to you. Okay. Then we have made an app similar to Dr. Gupta, or even in fact better than Dr. Gupta, similar to VisualDx and other things, which are all paid, very expensive apps. This is called Diagnosis AI. Again, we are giving this all free of charge. Again, wherever prompted, try to use the same password, which is technochronology@gmail.com. Okay, so you go there, you search. Yes. Yeah. So here you go. So this is the app. Okay. So this is the diagnosis app. Okay. So what you do here is it's a step-by-step process. Okay. So you first start with the patient details. Okay. Some patient details. So just basically to identify the patient. Then you add the clinical history, clinical examination, and basic textual data. Right. So here we said we have an elderly male patient presenting with severe burning chest pain. Came to AIMS emergency for admission and treatment. Before he could be shifted to ICU, had sudden fit with convulsions lasting for a few seconds. Pulse was feeble. BP was not recordable. His ECG was given below. So again, I hear that there are a lot of doctors who are listening to this are cardiologists. So this is the ECG. Okay, so this is now you can make the inferior wall MI. A lot of you would make that with bradycardia and all that, right? So you upload the ECG also, and along with the ECG, you can add the notes also. So for example, upload the notes for the image. So you can say this is the ECG of the patient, and then you go there and then you click on it, right? You can upload some lab reports also, for example, just like, Dr. Gupta thing. You can actually upload, in Dr. Gupta, you have to manually enter the lab reports. Here you can directly upload the lab PDF file. So you can do that, and it will give you the SOAP note, right? So the SOAP note is like this: subjective, clinical complaints, severe burning pain, history of presenting illness, the objective signs, right? Vital signs, other things, right? The ECG findings, okay? So the diagnostic test, ventricular rate was 29. This is all the diagnosis which it makes on its own, right? Junctional rhythm is there, QR complex is wide, there is significant ST elevation, and so on, and then it makes the final diagnosis. The patient is likely experiencing acute MI, particularly inferior wall MI based on clinical presentation. So it then gives you some differential diagnosis also and gives you the plan of management also, right? So this is the whole idea. So it's a streamlined diagnosis system where, step by step you can go make the entire diagnosis therein. Okay. Then we have another, so we have Pyrexio, which is a general use AI, and we have Dr. Pyrexio, which is a clinical assistant via WhatsApp. Now, I'm integrating this with WhatsApp. We have made another version which is available without WhatsApp. I'll show you that as a demo separately, but this is using WhatsApp. So what I'm doing is I'm connecting this with WhatsApp. So maybe in future, in a few weeks, maybe we'll give this to you, where you can actually directly ask medical queries using WhatsApp itself. So you don't have to. There is another app like this called August, which is there, but this is better than August, right? See, a lot of these apps are better because it is made by doctors, right? So it is made by me or made by another doctor. So doctors actually know the problem of doctors. So that is, I'm just like you, I face the same challenges which you do, right? So this is the WhatsApp system which we have made. Okay. So we called it Endo AI, but we are going to change the name here. So okay. So tell me about tramadol-induced adrenal insufficiency. Okay. So this is the question. Okay, so then it will search for the answer. It will take a few seconds. So you have to be a little patient because it does a little bit of backend thing. Again, this is not available right now, but I'll make it available. So, and there you go. It will start giving the diagnosis along with the PubMed references. Okay, so this is the answer. So it says, tramadol use adrenal insufficiency is a potential side effect of this tramadol use. Studies have shown that prolonged tramadol administration is this. And then it will give you the results and then give you the PubMed references also. Then you can click on the PubMed reference and check out the reference. Okay, so here you go, right? So you can check out the references as well. So right in your WhatsApp, you can get an AI-based powered decision-making tool or a clinical AI-based assistant, right? Which a lot of you said what kind of AI systems you want to use, and this is where this really comes in. Then something I did a piece day resistance. I think one of the things which I really like is a concept. It's a concept. It's called bench to website. Idea is to convert your research paper into interactive code. Okay. So a lot of you have written a lot of research paper, but the problem with research paper is that, let's say I read a research paper, it's a very good paper, but I forget about it in a few weeks, right? So whatever is given in the research paper, do I really use that? Maybe not. Maybe I do, right? So that's how. So again, the idea here is actually, so this is using Claude, but you can, the system we are developing, actually you can do it right within the system itself. So I'm still developing this. So here basically it says that, so I recently presented a, abstract on, diagnosis of obstructive sleep apnea and diabetes. So this was an oral presentation in one of the conferences. So what we did here was something like this, that, these are the 2 slides of my presentation representing screening questionnaire which you're developing for obstructive sleep apnea type 2 diabetes. Convert this into an interactive web app and make it easy for doctors to use, right? So this is the idea. So it very quickly converts the entire thing into a web application. You can see. So OSA screening questionnaire for type 2. So there are just 2 slides which are there. I uploaded the slide and it made it into a very nice little web application, right? And this web application then you can show and you can share it with your patients and you can share it with use it in your practice. So what this does is it actually makes your research work more accessible to public, more accessible to other doctors, so that they can use it and so that they're encouraged to use that further. Okay, so that's the idea. Okay, so another poll question, and I'll this is the last slide over here. So if you can run the poll here, the tech team. Okay, so after this presentation, how likely are you to try at least one new medical app or website? And I'm sure most of you would try it out. But this is the feedback, right? So this is feedback for me as well. So this is the poll we are running. So try answering this. Yeah, very likely. Good. So far, 100%. Okay. Yeah, great. So most 100% all throughout. Okay. So I'm not now A few seconds are still left, but yeah, I'll be in fact quite discouraged if there is something less than 100%. Great. Somewhat like few 5% here and there. Okay, great. Good, good, good. Okay. So that's quite encouraging. So yeah. So thank you for this. Uh, I mean, of course, we are going to continue with our discussion now with Dr. Rajesh. But before I end here, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. This is my LinkedIn profile. So I think LinkedIn is the best place to connect with me. If you have any questions or queries, and you can follow me on Twitter. This is my Twitter feed. Uh, and we have a channel called Endocrinology India YouTube channel. So you can subscribe to the channel, and we put a lot of these endocrinology videos, also a lot of videos on endocrinology talks, and a lot of videos on AI also. And finally, so thank you for your attention. And that's me, Dr. J Lakhani. I call myself a technocrinologist, but yeah, thank you for a patient listening.